we just go with the implementation of FFT on TMS 320 C54XX processor. Okay, so if I go with the implementation of this, first we go with the implementation of DIT FFT on this. The main program flow we are going to consider, and we are going to have a subroutines which are used for clear, which is used to clear the memory locations which are reserved for the results, and bit reverse, which is storing the data sequence in a bit reversed order. In the previous video, we have just seen how to determine the bit reversed order from a given natural ordered or proper ordered sequence. Now, the other one is the butterfly computation. So it computes the four equations of the computing real and imaginary parts of the structure. So that is what we have to do. Then spectrum, which computes the spectrum of x of n. So these are the main, one is the main program for implementing it. The subroutines, then bit reversed storage program, butterfly computing task, spectrum computation. So the butterfly subroutine is invoked 12 times and the other subroutines are invoked only once. So it is invoked 12 times because there are several stages of butterfly several stages in butterfly diagram. So the main program flow is like this. We are going to have a flow chart for this. Start, then invoking clear. Invoking is just calling the sub program from the main program. So that is what we are going to invoking. So invoke clear, invoke bit reverse, and set appropriate operands for the butterfly computation, and again invoke butterfly, invoke spectrum, and end of the program. So these are the tasks which are involved in the main program. So if you move with the program is similar to like the previous FIR filter subroutines, interpolation filters, decimation filters, IR and FIR filters. So it starts with the assembler directives, memory mapped register initialization, then the data initialization, then reservation for locations of x of n. But here we just stick on with x of n with the Q15 notation decimal value. So xn0, xn1, xn2, etc. So these are nothing but x of n values. Then we say that word 0 and word 16384. So these are the values what we define as word for xn or x of 1. So this is what we consider in decimal. These are the decimal values for this particular value of the sample. So these are the samples. These are actually the samples. For example, I have taken these samples. Then total of 8 samples. Then reserve 16 locations for f of k because 8 locations are required for real part. 8 locations are required for imaginary part. So we can see that x0 are word 0, x0 im word 0. So one is for real, one is for imaginary. For 8 locations, sorry, 8 samples, we require 16 locations. So which is one real location, real part location, one is imaginary part location. 8 locations for the twiddle factors. So that is W8 power 0 to W8 power 3. So these are the values of a twiddle factor which can have a real and imaginary parts. Okay, so here we have real part, imaginary part, W8 of 0, W8 of 1 real and imaginary value, W8 of 2 real and imaginary value, W8 power 3 real and imaginary value. Then we set up 2 memory locations which are temporary memory locations. So that is temp1 and temp2. Then we go with the main program .text ssbx ssxm set the sign extension mode bit to st1. So this is a common thing what we already written in the form of a program for filters. Then here we go with call clear, call bit reverse. So one is a subprogram to clear the subroutines locations, memory locations. One is the bit reversal code bit reversal program, what we are going to write as a subprogram, which can be called in this main program. So clear subroutine is shown in this. Okay, 16 locations meant for final results are cleared. AR2 is used as a pointer. So here whatever auxiliary register we are going to use, that can be used in the program. So here AR1, AR2, AR3 and AR0 are the common auxiliary registers which are used in the program. So we see that a small subroutine is written to clear. So underscore clear, store XOR to AR2. So AR2 points to FFT data memory and repeat counter as 16, so that store 0 to AR2. So X of k is 0, AR2 will be AR2 plus 1. So we are going to clear all the 16 locations which are required for storing the result, which can have a real and imaginary part of a result after finding DFT. So this is a clear subroutine, and this is a flowchart for a clear subroutine. This is a code for the real subroutine, clear subroutine. Then this is for a bit reversal. So AR1 is pointing to X and not, AR2 is pointing to XOR. Index is 8, count is 7. So either you go with this or you can write this flowchart. Copy X of n to a location of X of k in a bit reverse manner. So whatever we have done earlier, we are going to perform the same using a code. So we are going to store X0 to AR1, then XOR to AR2. It means that we are performing the XOR operation with content of AR2. Then store 8 to AR0, store 7 to AR3. So 8 is stored in AR0, 7 is stored in AR3. Then load the content of AR1 to A. So X0 is stored to A. Store the lower byte of A to AR2 plus 0. So 0B is nothing but bit reversal. So we are going to perform addition, that is bit reversed addition is done. So whatever carry we get from right to left, so here we get from left to right. So that is bit reversed addition. So on performing bit reversed addition, we can find what is the bit reversed value or the bit reversed sequence. So if I know the present index, I can know the next index, or if I know the previous index, I can know the present index. So this is what we do with this particular subroutine. Then butterfly subroutine is invoked 12 times. We have already seen that in the algorithm. Part of the subroutine is next shown. Real part and imaginary part of A and B input data of the butterfly structure is divided by 4, which is a scaling factor. So this is what we do. Real part and imaginary part of A and B input data of a butterfly structure will be divided by 4. So we have already seen that earlier how the division of real and imaginary part is done. So which is the scaling factor. Then real part of a data is divided by 2 and it is stored in one temporary location. So that is what we have taken two temporary location, temp1 and temp2. One temp1 is used to store the real part of the data, and one temp2 is used to store the imaginary part of a data. So this is how we are going to perform butterfly subroutine. So this is similar for all the statements here. Replace AR with AR by 4. So this is the scaling what we have done, AR by 4. And store AR by 2 in temp1. So AR by 2, one value we are going to store in temp1. Then replace AIM with AIM by 4. One is for real, one is for imaginary. So store AIM by 2 in temp2. Then replace BR with BR by 4 and replace BIM with BI by 4. So these are nothing but the representation for auxiliary register with real part, auxiliary register with imaginary part. Then this is for the value B with its real part and value B with its imaginary part. So this is a butterfly subroutine what we are going to so this is for the real part of A. So this is what happens. A is equal to BR into WR. That is what we have done already in the butterfly signal flow graph concept. A equal to BR into WR minus BI into WI. So this is one value for A. then make AR 32 bits. Okay, so we are making AR to 32 bits because we cannot proceed with the lesser value other than 16. So A equal to AR plus BR into WR minus BI into WI into WI. Sorry, into WI. Then round and store. We are going to round that value and we are going to store it. So this is the flow. Similarly with the imaginary part of A and output of butterfly. So similar thing happens here. So again the third is load A with AR scaled by 2. Then from this we are going to subtract new value of AR and store the lower 16 bits as BR. So this is again similar for imaginary part of B. So we are going to go with 4 process, real part of A and imaginary part of A, then real part of B and imaginary part of B. If I go with storing the data and calling the subroutine or subprogram from the main program, we are going to just write in this form, considering the first stage of a signal flow graph. So x and naught and 0 to 5. So this is the first stage, and producing the output XR, that is x naught R, x and 4 producing x1R. So x0R, x1R is the first output of this first block or symbol. We earlier discussed about symbolic representation of a butterfly diagram. So this is how the symbolic representation of diagram is done. For 2 inputs, we prefer to get outputs in the form of real and imaginary parts. Similarly here, x and 2 is the input, x and 6 is the input, producing x2R and x3R as the output. So this is a second stage of the second part of the first stage butterfly diagram. Then xn1 and xn5 are the inputs. So 1 by 4 is the scaling factor, and producing x4R and x5R as the output. So this is the third symbolic representation of a first stage butterfly third diagram. And xn3 and xn7, 2 inputs of this symbolic representation of a diagram, with 1 by 4 as the scaling factor, producing x6R and x7R as the output. So these are the codes, line of a code what we prefer to write for this symbolic part of a first stage. Then if I go with the symbolic part of a second stage, so these two are the x0 and x2 are the inputs now, producing x0 and x2 as the output. So this is a program what we write to perform the symbolic part of a second stage of the butterfly diagram, which is used for DIT FFT. Similarly here x1 and x3 are the inputs, producing x1 and x3 as the outputs based on the twiddle factor W power 2. So earlier we had a twiddle factor W power 1. So here in the second stage we have the twiddle factor W power 2. So similarly here we are going to change x0R AR1, x2R AR2, giving the output in AR3 by considering W8 and W8 power 2, W8 power 0 and W8 power 2. So this is for W8 power 0, this is for W8 power 2. Similarly W8 power 2 and W8 power 0. So like that we are going to consider the several stages of signal flow graph of DIT. To the last stage, again we have a scaling factor of 1 by 4 with the inputs x0 and x4, producing output x of 0 and x of 4. Similarly, if I go with other 2 inputs which are remaining, x1 and x4, producing x of 1 and x of 5. So this is one algorithm or the instruction what we write. So here we can see that WR W8 power 0, W8 power 1, here W8 power 2 and W8 power 3. So here we can see that W8 power 1, W8 power 2, W8 power 3, and this is W8 power 0. So this is the third stage implementation of the FFT, which is for DIT FFT algorithm. So in order to perform DIT FFT algorithm, we just go with the real and imaginary parts separation, followed by the real and imaginary parts of A and B, and also considering the twiddle factors of W8 power 0, W8 power 1, W8 power 2 and W8 power 3. These are the four twiddle factor and its conjugate values are obtained, based on which we are going to multiply and get the values in each stage of butterfly multiplication. So if I go with butterfly diagram here, we look into three different stages: stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3, or first stage, second stage and third stage of butterfly diagram. So if I go with that, we have inputs x of 0 to x of 7, producing the outputs x of 0 to x of 7 in each stage of butterfly multiplication. So that is what we conclude with the implementation of DIT FFT by considering the main program, followed by the clear subroutine, followed by a bit reversal subroutine, and followed by a temporary storage subroutine. So these are the things what we are going to, and the butterfly subroutines. So these are the four subroutines what we require along with the main program for finding the DFT, which is for DIT FFT algorithm using three different stages of butterfly computations. So this is how we are going to implement FFT algorithm if it is DIT FFT algorithm. Okay.